I didn't expect a Yuri mystery set in a quiet 1960s mansion to wreck me and still leave me feeling hopeful. From the very first scene, Iwakura Aria felt like a dream I didn't want to wake up from. Soft painterly art, the promise of a gentle, slow-burn romance. This is a game that wears elegance like a mask, and beneath it is a story that's heavy, twisted, and deeply human. If you've played the house in Fata Morgana or Paranorma Site, you know that mix of beauty and unease I'm talking about. The way it slowly gets under your skin. In this review, I'm going to walk you through what Iwakura Aria does brilliantly, where it stumbles, and whether it's worth giving your time, and maybe even a piece of your heart. No major spoilers, just insight from one visual novel fan to another. Thank you to P-Cube for gifting a copy of the game. But just a heads up, the opinions stated here are my own. So, let's dive into the dark corners of the Iwakura mansion. Iwakura Aria takes place in 1960s Japan. A time when the world outside is changing fast, but inside the mansion, time feels stuck. You're Ichiko, a young woman who's just walked away from a toxic job, where every mistake was pinned on her, even when it wasn't her fault. She's talented, especially at drawing, but no one has ever really seen her. Until one day, a stranger notices her work and offers her a position as a live-in maid. It feels like a fresh start, but it doesn't feel safe. From the moment you arrive, you meet the mansion's two other residents, Amane, the well-mannered father, and his daughter Aria. Aria keeps her distance, making it clear she sees you as just the help. But when she discovers your art, something shifts. Her words soften. The walls between you start to thin. And that's when you realize you're not just connecting over art, you're connecting because you both feel trapped. Different cages, same locked door. But the mansion isn't just a backdrop, it's a pressure cooker. The stillness isn't peaceful, it's loaded. Every conversation carries a tension you can't quite name. Amane's politeness starts to feel rehearsed. And then there's that moment between him and Aria, brief, quiet, but enough to make your pulse skip. And just when you think you understand the rhythm, the story throws its first twist early. And once that twist lands, you're not wondering if there's more to uncover. You're wondering how deep the rabbit hole goes. On paper, Iwakura Aria's gameplay is simple. Read dialogue, make choices, and sometimes wander around the mansion. But those choices matter. One wrong answer might cost you a key conversation. One brave choice might unlock a moment that changes how you see Aria, or yourself, forever. With 9 endings, every decision ripples forward, shaping not just the story, but who Ichiko becomes decades later. Exploring the mansion can feel like a side quest, but it's worth it if you like finding hidden threads, a letter tucked in a drawer, a quiet scene in the garden that makes an earlier moment hit harder. Not every room will give you a big reveal, but the ones that do, they stay with you. And here's something I loved. The big twist comes early. Instead of tying the whole game to one big gotcha moment, the story uses that early reveal to open more questions. You stop asking what's going on and start asking why is it happening and what happens next. The pacing isn't for everyone, it's deliberate, like a slow camera pan. But if you give it time, it rewards you. You mostly see the world through Ichiko. She's not just a blank slate protagonist, she's layered. She can be playful, stubborn, or guarded, depending on how you guide her. She's been through abuse and betrayal, and you feel that history in the way she hesitates before trusting someone, or in the way she surprises herself when she stands her ground. Sometimes she slips back into old fears, and other times she steps into a confidence that feels earned. And then there's Aria. She's not all smiles and easy warmth. At first, she's polite but distant, someone you can't quite read. But when she sees your art, something cracks. She lets you in slowly and cautiously. The connection between Ichiko and Aria is complicated. It's not just romance, it's two people who have both been trapped, learning what it means to actually see and be seen. And when their walls start to come down, you start wondering, how much are they willing to risk for each other? Even the side characters, like Sui, the quietly observant chef, or Amane, with his unnerving composure, pull their weight. They don't hog the spotlight, but they add layers to the mansion's atmosphere, making you feel like every person here is keeping a piece of the puzzle. But what really ties all of this together is the way the game looks and sounds. From the moment Iwakura Aria loads, it's clear this isn't going for the usual anime aesthetic. The art feels painted, with soft textures, muted tones, and each frame looks like it belongs in a gallery. But it's not just pretty, it's purposeful. When the story softens, the colors feel warm. When tension rises, shadows creep into the corners. And in some of the most emotional scenes, the visuals shift into raw pencil sketches, a quiet reminder of Ichiko's beginnings. Just a girl, a pencil, and a world she's trying to draw for herself. Looking at Arya, you'll notice she seems almost porcelain. Delicate in a way that makes you want to protect her, even as you question if you should. The voice acting seals it. Every line, except Ichiko's thoughts, is voiced. And if you wear headphones, it's like you're in the room. But there's one design choice that completely changed how I experienced this story. The time skip endings. Instead of leaving you with a what if, the game shows you, 30 years later, what Ichiko's life looks like because of the choices you made. You don't just see her older, you see how the love, the mistakes, and the pain shaped her. It's a rare kind of storytelling that rewards curiosity and makes you want to replay, not just to see everything, but to see who she becomes. With 9 endings, the game becomes less about winning and more about discovering the different ways life can unfold, even in the same set of walls. It's ambitious, and unfortunately, it doesn't all land perfectly. Some of Iwakura Aria's endings feel a little rushed, like they're closing the book just as you're ready for another chapter. But the journey getting there, that's where it shines. This is a slow-burn emotional story that mixes elegance with unease. It doesn't hand you all the answers. You'll have to catch the subtle glances, the loaded pauses, the words unsaid. And that's exactly what makes it rewarding. This isn't the type of game that's full of action or flashy effects. It's more like a cozy, rainy day read, something you take your time with, maybe while snacking and letting the autoplay run like a movie. If you've ever loved a story that left you feeling both stung and comforted, especially if the house in Fata Morgana lives rent-free in your mind, this might just be your next obsession. If you enjoy Iwakura Aria's mix of beauty and unease, you'll want to see what the same scenario writer, Gogo Nemuru, does in B Project Ryusei Fantasia. It's nothing like this mansion story. Think dazzling idol world instead of shadowy halls, but the emotional gut punches are still there. And there's one twist in that game I wish someone had warned me about before I played. So, before you dive in blind, click on this next video. I'll share what I loved, what made me stop and stare at my screen, and a few things you'll want to know so you can enjoy it without the same "wait, what?" moment I had. I'll see you there.